And in the US, there are $20 trillion circulation. And a lot of people, they have so much money from many different sources. Some get the money from the government, some get the money from their stocks market, some get the money from their home equities. When people have the home value go up, they have home equity, they feel confident and they start spending. Or people cash out and buy home. And more people want to buy home because people have money. They want to get a better home, they want to live their dream home, they want to change. They want to have better cars. They buy so many things. Okay? When people start buying, we see that we have a problem with goods because we don't have enough goods to sell. At the same time, because of the COVID, a lot of countries, they don't produce and they don't export their goods. And US, we have a big problem because we don't produce a lot of stuff. We don't have many manufacturing company in the US. Most of the manufacturing company are in China. We want to buy. So when we have the demand higher than the supply, what happened to the price? Prices go up. It will happen when we have inflation. So inflation occurs when the demand is a lot stronger or larger than the supply. Like the war right now, Russia and Ukraine war, we don't have oil because of the war happening. We don't have gas. We have a lot of things. And that happened, it drives the price of the gas, right? That also it helps with the inflation. That's why the inflation going up so fast. We're gonna look into, like right now, the inflation more than 8.6%. So when we need to buy and we don't have stuff to buy, price increase and we have inflation. When we have inflation, it causes so many problems. The government doesn't like it. So what do? The only thing they can do is the central bank, they increase interest rate. We call the Fed, the central bank is really the Fed, they increase interest rate. And we want to know why the Fed increase interest rate, it affects us. Okay, the Fed increased the federal funds rate. And how does it affect us? The federal fund rates affect the prime rates. Because look at the formula. The prime rate is equal to the federal fund rate plus 3. And banks use prime rates to set interest rate for short-term loan, such as credit cards, HELOC lines, and ARM rates. Remember, we have ARM equal to the ARM rate equal to the index plus the margin. So this is the HELOC line. The HELOC line, the interest rate is equals to index plus margin. And for the HELOC line, the index is actually the prime rate. And remember, go back, the prime rate equal to the federal funds rate at 3%. And the federal fund rate is the interest rate that the Fed, they increase. And in the past 6 months, they increased it 3 times. And it's like 0.5% and 0.75%. 2 times 0.5, right? And then 0.75%. So the Fed keeps increasing interest rate. That affect yet, but it will. Eventually, you see more people cannot buy house anymore. Right now, people still have money. But as you see, when the interest rate go up, everything more expensive, less people are able to buy. Like the company, they cannot sell enough. When they cannot sell enough, they don't make profit. They have to lay off people. And when they have to lay off people, people lose income. It's like a circle. When we lose income, when we don't have money, we cannot buy. So the Fed tried to increase everything to stop us from buying because we are buying too much. It's gonna reduce. Later on, we're gonna encounter another problem when the price goes, because when they cannot sell, what happened? They're gonna have to reduce the price. When it reduces the price, that's when we have deflation. Right now we are dealing with inflation, but later on we're gonna deal with deflation. And deflation, when deflation happens, we are entering recession. That's what's happening. So we are not in recession yet, but we are going toward recession right now. And we cannot avoid it. The central bank, they didn't want to create problem. They didn't want to create deflation. But there is only way to stop inflation is to increase rates. But they cannot control much. It's really hard to control because people are still spending. If people listen and say, okay, if the government say, okay, do not spend anymore and we stop spending, then we'll be in good hand. But because we don't listen, we're still buying. I see myself still going out and buy stuff, right? You still going out and buy stuff. People take vacation. People go everywhere. When people take vacation, they spend money. So right now we are going toward recession.
Thank you for watching the video Increasing Interest Rate Controls Inflation. Now you know why we have inflation and why the Fed or the central bank increase interest rate. I don't want you to feel scared or worry. Instead, the only thing I would like you to do right now is to pay attention to how you are going to be prepared already when the worst might come. The worst, what is the worst? The worst is when we don't have a job, when we don't have income. Then how are we going to pay for our basic expenses like mortgage or rental, or car insurance, monthly car payment, food, electric bills, telephone bills, home insurance, health insurance, property tax? In order to be prepared or ready for the worst, I would like you to sit down with your spouse and write out all the expenses, the basic expenses that you have to pay every month. Then total it up to see how much you really have to spend each month, the basic expenses only. And then time by 6 or 12, depend on if you want to have a 6 months expenses set aside or 12-month expenses set aside, and put it somewhere so that when the worst happened, when there was little income, you have something in hand to take care of the basic expenses for the family. The main purpose is to keep the house if you own one, or to have this standard living condition even when the worst might happen. That's all I want for you, for everyone that I know, because I do care. I saw what happened in 2008, 2009, 2010. So many people, they did not prepare for it because we did not know, including me. I did not know. So we sold our house. I sold my investment properties. Luckily, I kept my owner-occupied property. I didn't sell my owner-occupied property. I'm so lucky and I'm so grateful for keeping my owner-occupied property. And that changed the whole game because I was able to keep my owner-occupied property. I make so much money, so much profit out of it now. You will see the video that I will be posted on I think July July 12th. I talk about my house, how much I bought it and how much I paid for it. How much profit I made from it. So please don't be worried. but be ready for whatever happened. If you feel like you don't have the 12 months or 6 month expenses money set aside, should maybe get another job, an Uber or DoorDash job, to make some money and set aside, because right now we can still find jobs. Don't miss the opportunities, because one day when we want to find job, we cannot find any. So take care of yourself and your family. Do not worry, but be ready, because worry only make us sick. Okay, thank you. Take care.